Right, there we go. It is ended. Fulham 0, Southampton 0. Not really much to talk about, but we're going to get into it anyway. Right, coming up. So there we go. It's ended. Fulham 0, Southampton 0. Bit of a flat game, but before we get into that, as always, please remember to like this video. Remember to subscribe if you aren't already. Jack.
Hiya.
Jack's changed his audio all of a sudden. He's gone for a handheld mic, which is making him sound like a stand-up comedian. Really gives that. How are you, Jack? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, sir. Yeah, it's been a.
You sound like you're in the Dodgems now.
Oh my god! Like you got.
I
did a Zoom call the other night, and it all just kind of went wrong for me. So I ended up just doing this, and I actually love just standing here with a microphone. All that time, I've sort of like missed out on being, a stand-up or a front man, during this lockdown time. I'm sort of getting it back now. I'll be windmilling it in a minute. But yeah, mate, it's about, I've had a nice Christmas. How was yours?
Yeah, not too bad. But it was emotional for all the right reasons. So it was all good. I've got everything. I think I've got a kilo of peanut M&Ms, a few blank SD cards, and new camera bags. So that's
nice.
pretty much me sorted. Really, that's nice. Nailed it. Everyone nailed it on the gifts. So
well done, Smell Clan. They've treated you good there. I was kind of hoping that my main present would be today, and
got
a little bit let down.
Yeah, well, let's get into that right away. A few obvious changes on the team sheets. Danny Ings obviously being out injured. Aurora Mayo was out suspended, and Yannick Vestergaard appears to be out for 4 weeks. They were missed massively, and today was an opportunity for Ibrahimo Diallo to step up and show exactly why we brought him into the club, and a bit flat, really. I mean, I'm going to give him some slack. Because I did feel throughout that game it's kind of a similar Højbjerg sort of performance, sort of losing the ball, few wayward passes. He didn't really do anything wrong.
Yeah,
he didn't really do anything,
Yeah, I was something we'll get into, but I was annoyed throughout the game because the commentators talking about how Fulham really took out our midfield and really made our midfields, irrelevant today. And I felt like Fulham did go in to compete against our midfield. Mm-hmm. But we were playing a really half our midfield. It's one thing to say they bossed Romeo about, but when you're saying, they put Diallo in the pocket, it's like, yeah, all right, whatever. I thought his game wasn't amazing. I thought I saw some good passing in there, and it's quite clear he's a more attacking player than Romeo. He running forward a lot more. I'm going to see him, playing a bit forward. But yeah, you're right. We still didn't see a world breaker in him, but I think that's still to come. I think everything's still, I'm not quite sure what position he's in or what his spot in the team is. So all I saw today was someone not doing Romeo's job.
Right, and I think it probably highlights how good Romeo has been for us, and what a commanding factor he is in that midfield role. I mean, over the games that Romeo has been playing in, he's looked composed on the ball. He's been able to distribute very, very well. The same could be said for Vestergaard in the last game against Man City. He looked absolutely fantastic distributing the ball. These amazing long balls going all over the place. So it was obviously missed. But taking it step by step through the game, first half, I thought Fulham looked pretty lively. They started very, very well. And then all of a sudden we had this unbelievable free kick from James Ward-Prowse. Literally, it couldn't have been any more perfect. Maybe if it was a little bit quicker, it would have gone in. But effectively, the goalkeeper's done an unbelievable job in keeping that out and effectively putting his hand in the only position between the crossbar and the post, and literally using that stanchion to keep the ball out. It's bounced right in front of Shea Adams and taken this really awkward spin and spun out. I mean, I was thinking it's a goal. Shea Adams is definitely going to head this in. But it wasn't to be. But
yeah, I was screaming, Shea, you should have scored that. But as soon as you see the replay and how bad that spin is, he was closer to punching the ball in than he was anywhere near it. I don't know whether that was all the spin or whether he kind of overshot his run in and he sort of ran past it in the end of it.
Yeah, I
But
think he wasn't expecting that. I mean, Alex
yeah,
Scott said it perfectly. She was saying it at halftime. She said it's one of those goals, one of those opportunities where you just really want to handball it in and just push it
yeah.
with your hand.
I remember
And
when I was a kid playing football. There was one game where a ball came in across the line, and one of my defenders just slapped it out of the goal,
right, yeah,
and we got a penalty. And we were all like, "Why did you do that?" And as soon as he said, "I just couldn't help it," we all went, "Yeah, I get that.
yeah,
Yeah, I understand completely. It's there. I've got to smack it away. I can't just let it cross the line."
yeah, yeah. And then other parts in the first half. I mean, I thought the Fulham had a couple of good chances. I mean, there was one by his name escapes me right now. You know, the guy with the fantastic dreadlocks and ponytail style. Is someone in the chat section? Please help me out here.
Is it?
But him,
Yes. I want to say it's Steve Okarigi, but it's not. It sounds like that. It's
yeah,
because a few times they were like, I was like, is Steve Okarigi signed from? Like, is he moved from Liverpool? Like, I was really confused. But
yes,
I know
similar
who you
hairstyle
mean.
to that. But basically, he came in and he kicked the ball against the back of his own leg. But I thought, oh, that's a bit dangerous there. And there were a couple of opportunities where I thought Fulham could have scored. There was that header opportunity where basically he was in by himself, just him and the goalkeeper. When they caught us on the counter attack, but
It's funny because I saw Marcus Rashford miss that exact same shot earlier on. So I think players
right.
just don't like that anymore. I think they just don't want to head the ball, which is fair enough to them.
Yeah.
It's I think we were lucky today that we were playing Fulham at some points because there was a lack of class going forwards. Where I feel like another team, anything top half, they would have probably made better do with the chances that they got.
Right.
But I will say we did miss Vestergaard going forward, but I felt defensively everybody stepped up. I thought the back line was really, really, really good today. I thought Stevens really proved the point that he could defend. It's just playing forward. In reality, the midfield should be the ones to make those creative passes. So it's not really down to Stevens to make it. That was the big thing we were missing today. I'd say was Vestergaard's play going forward. But defensively, I thought we were really good today.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was nothing bad, but it was nothing really great.
That's what I mean. It was a performance of when they were asked to do a job, everybody in the team did that job. The only ones that didn't do it was when we were attacking. Really, like we didn't create any chances this game. Really, like for none to really think of. Obviously, there was the 2 tools at the end that were offside, but there wasn't really anything creative going forwards. And I think that's maybe something they're going to have to take a look at in January with the injuries that we're getting.
Yeah, it was a rather embarrassing stat that they put out at halftime with I think it was 3 attempts on goal combined by both sides, which is the worst first half attempts on goal so far this season. So
and then they were also talking about a stat of players airing the ball, just absolutely missing their chance. And it did happen a few times. Before the game, I text Mike saying Diallo's going to score a 40-yard screamer today from the edge of the area. And there was twice in the game that they delivered the ball to him to do that, and he whiffed it both times. So I can only imagine that in training, they've seen him absolutely peg one in from distance, and that's why they're trying that.
Yeah.
Or we kind of just didn't really have any other options in the box.
Yeah. But there were those 2 opportunities, like you say, but I think we were caught on the counter-attack from both those opportunities. And I remember there was another one where almost like Theo Walcott just ran out of ideas and he just lost the ball, and then we were caught on the counter-attack. And
I think the more this game, I know this is going to sound like some Michael Owen commentary right here, but the more this game went on, the more
brace yourselves, everyone.
Is that even before the game kicked off, the closer we got to kickoff, the more I thought this game was going to be a draw and it's going to be really, really boring. You know, a couple of weeks ago, we were all sort of said this would be the game where we should pick up 3 points.
Yeah.
And then, Scott Parker started playing well. I thought, okay, this is going to be a slightly different game. And then we had, between the injuries, Scott Parker not actually being there, I thought that was going to wane on them a little bit.
Yeah.
And then just everything surrounded it. You just sort of like, oh, this is going to be a draw and it's going to be really boring. And that's just what it was. And then when you looked at, then as we were in the game, there was so many. There was a little bit of play where there was 3 really blatant, obvious fouls all in a row, 2 for us and 1 on them. And it seemed like the ref didn't give the first one because which was a bad decision, and then he didn't give the second one, which seemed to be, I'm sorry, I didn't just do that last one. It was like a tit for tat.
100%. Yeah.
100%. There was a tit for tat, and then because it was in the same play. Same transition. There was another foul on us right at the edge of the box, perfect wall post territory, and he just let that slide as well, because it was
Right.
like, well, I've balls this bit completely right up, so I might as well just let them move on from here and never go back. And it's like, these refs are just terrible. I also don't understand the penalty that we didn't get.
Yeah, I was going to jump onto that actually. The penalty now. Here's where I stand on it. It's a bit like we've kind of the one we got against Brighton. Okay, there was a lot of discussion that happened with that. It was a contentious one. A lot of people said it was definitely inside the box, and there's images that do prove that there was definitely still contact in the box. My take on this one is it was a penalty, but it wasn't a clear and obvious error by the referee.
My biggest thing
sounds incredibly neutral for this channel. So again, apologies.
Disgustingly.
Yeah.
What I would say was that for me, everything that we say that's a handball, that's what it was, and the ref did just miss it, and that's fine. But what annoyed me more was everything around it, sort of like that. Whoever was on punditry, I think it was Lee. Who was it today? It wasn't Stan Collymore like we thought it was. It was somebody else.
Lee Hendry
from Harry's Heroes. Was just terrible on commentary, because this was what he said, right? He goes, that was a penalty. It was clear and obvious. I saw it, you saw it, everyone saw it, and it's definitely a penalty. But it's not one that any of us would like to see given. It's like, are you just forgetting about the Southampton fans and the Southampton team that are watching this? Are you just all on Fulham? Just sort of, it was just soul destroying.
I texted you in the game, didn't I? And I said, "Who is this guy co-commentating?" Because he was horribly biased. And I thought, when you text back, yeah, but it was a yellow, Mike. And I was like, yeah, okay, fair enough, it was. And it got me thinking, like, is he just going to the extra level of detail that you don't need to add that then could be perceived as biased?
I just think there were so many times in the game where we were doing something, and then we were just not being. There was one point where Walcott was on the ball, and it was literally, oh, here comes Theo Walcott, and the commentators were saying, oh, he's done so well since coming to this club after quite a few years of setback. I was like, yeah, he has done well. They weren't even talking about Walcott; they were talking about a Fulham player that was from Marseille. I was like, what are you talking about? He's nowhere near the ball, and like, what's going on here? Like, just talk about. Me and Mike both said, we were saying, is this what they say when me and you are on air? Like, if this, you'll get way better stuff from us than you will from these idiots.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the only reason I didn't do watch along today, because all you'd hear is my kid's scale electric set, which is awesome, by the way.
you say your kid's scale electric set, but we all know
that's
you
fair.
bought yourself a scale electric set and just wrote your kids' names on it.
Yeah, not gonna lie. Right, let's get into some of these comments in the chat section, one of which I was going to talk about anyway. Look at that graphic. Oh, nice. Charlie McGann, 2 goals disallowed. That's just annoying. It was annoying. It was great finishing, but they were sadly offside on both accounts.
Yeah, you can't argue that. But again, that was just that those decisions were made it even more clear and obvious of just what sort of game this is. Like, oh, we've had 2 goals disallowed. It's just like this. Like, by the end of it, I was so fed up. Not in the sense of we play bad. It was just like, oh, it's one of these games. Great.
Yeah. Shane Long offside. He had an okay game. I mean, it wasn't anything amazing, but
yeah, I'm amazed he lasted that long on the pitch and looked as fresh as he did to that point. It was crazy. Fair play to Shane. He did a job today. It's just a shame there wasn't more creativity to get it to him. I missed what Shane Long misses as well. I'm guessing is those great just through balls straight down the middle where he could just bust between players. Like, all the through balls just seem to be really long and over the top and towards the corners rather than straight down the middle where he likes them. So
yeah,
it's
just
a shame.
Too many absentees for him to make an impact. I mean, like you say,
absolutely.
Someone playing a decent through ball, had he had Romeo or even Vestergaard pinging it from way at the back, could be very, very different. Exactly. There were some conflicting comments on here as well. Someone was saying Armstrong was our best player, and then someone who was referring to Armstrong needs to be benched. He's not a winger. Thoughts on Armstrong today? It was a bit quiet, I would say.
Yeah. I think that it basically sums up what the fan base is like right now. Give him a performance, and he's great. Give him a performance. He's not. I think he's been a player that's been it just keeps improving. And then today he suffered like everybody else who regularly starts, and he was brought down by an incomplete squad. I think that's what everybody is today. I don't think you can judge many players off today's performance.
No,
apart from Jack Stevens, who I thought was great.
But you made a great point before the game began, because I texted you and thought, well, why isn't Salisu starting? And you said that, well, basically there are too many other absentees for him to, better to have some experience in the side as opposed to him starting.
As soon as I saw the team, because I did assume Salisu would start today. But then as soon as I thought about it, I was like, no, like there's no cover in the midfield from Romeo, and there's no cover from the front with Ings. So you're going to need everything we can possibly get. I was almost a little bit surprised that we didn't play 5 at the back like we did against Wolves. I was more expecting that to happen.
Okay.
Play that 5 at the back, and then
again, like the game against Newcastle.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that maybe it might be better to seep him in through that. So play, still play Stevens as well. So play Stevens, Salisu, and Bednarak at the back there. Let them play wide. And I thought that might have happened today. So it's a shame the tactics didn't switch up that much. But I think they did their job at the back. For me personally, I thought Bednarak was my man of the match today.
Yeah. Bednarak.
Yeah, Bednarak. I thought he was just super solid. He stepped up when Vestergaard, and he was the sort of the leader from the back. And in a game where not a lot happened, I just thought that solid performance outstood everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's have a look at a few of some of these other comments here. A lot of people are talking about we're going to have to expect negative results. As long as we pick up points against the big 6, we've only picked up 2, and that's what's going to make us have an average season. You kind of feel like this game was, had we lost that, I would have been really, really annoyed, because we didn't do enough to lose. Well, we did enough not to lose that game, I thought. But we have, if, as you put it quite rightly, Jet, if you're going to win the Premier League, you've got to win games you don't deserve to do so.
Absolutely. I'm going to say our title race probably is over now. I've kind of less behind that, but I still think there's a massive difference between this 0-0 performance with a lackluster team and not a full start than if we were to play this game at this time last year against. This is in fact, this is actually a really good. Like, think of how we played against Cardiff, a newly promoted side. And if we weren't playing our full strong team, we lost. We just couldn't handle it. Today, it looked like it never looked like we were going to lose today. I thought never was there a moment I thought this is it for us. I thought we were strong. It was just working out how do we get past our own disadvantages rather than anything else. So, picking up these are the sort of points that we didn't pick up. We're kind of like the opposite of a title winning team, where we, in those sort of seasons, we would probably pick up a point or two against top 6 clubs because we were just sort of fluky, and we would lose these kind of games. Whereas we're winning these kind of games, so therefore I can accept us losing against top 6 clubs.
Yeah.
It was just today was a little bit dry.
It was a bit dry, and I was thinking halfway through that I'm really watching the wrong game here, because Aston Villa are winning with 10 men on the pitch. They won 3-0, I think.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, crazy.
So there we go. Sorry, everyone, you're watching the wrong game. Hi, guys. Do you think we should have made changes earlier? P.S. Do you Sprouts? Second part of the question, no, I do not. Just don't like them, really. Never liked them. First part of that question, I don't know who we would have subbed on, because our bench was kind of slightly, very inexperienced, if we're being very honest with ourselves. And I thought Gineppo didn't start because Diallo started. Because of that experience factor. And I thought that, he would want to have, Hassan would want to have a bit more experience in that midfield and not have it so fresh, so to speak. Yeah. How about you, Jack? Substitute?
It was either, I think it was the last live stream that we did, but I was talking about the fan forum and Ralph's stance on his substitution. It's like, why would I change the squad if I wasn't going to improve it? And you look at the bench today and you're like, yeah, there's this nothing you bring on will strengthen this squad. It would just be to save, a bit of energy. And no one looked tired. And I honestly didn't think there would have been anything added apart from the fact that I kind of miss Obafemi in the squad. I almost was of the opinion maybe he should have started Nundo or Obafemi or someone over Long and to bring Long on.
Right.
Because I just like that. I like, it's kind of a Southampton, seems like the more of the Southampton thing to do. But, as far as subs go, I think it's Ralph's making the right decisions. And as far as sprouts go, I don't like eating grass or eating farts. So why would I combine the two?
Yeah. Good call. Good call. Go back to your previous point before you talked about the sprout thing. I would have thought he might have started Daniel in Lundulu today.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. That was the one I was like, okay, if you're gonna do it, let's start doing it now. But this is again really just more hits to the point of why I think we should need to buy another striker in January. Because if he's not good enough to start against Fulham,
yeah,
and he's also not good enough to bring on at 70 minutes for Shane Long. I'm not knocking Shane Long's performance today. I said it was good, but that's a real issue. Not being able to have a really a decent striker to bring on, and it's starting to show. I honestly thought Obafemi was going to be that player, and then he hasn't started at all this season. He's been getting some red cards in the under 21s, I've been told, and
really,
I think he's sort of, maybe on the slip out if he's not careful. So some competition in the squad, and also with not to be mean to Danny, but with the injuries he's getting, it would be good to have someone that's going to fire him up. Make sure that fitness is on point.
Yeah, the Obafemi thing is totally weird, though. I mean, it was this time last year that we were all waxing lyrical about him because we'd won not too far up the road at Stamford Bridge, a very convincing 2-0 win on Boxing Day last year.
Exactly. Like that's what the thing. I think back to this time last year. I remember that goal going in, and I had to argue with people in the house that it didn't take a deflection. It was just a good goal. It's like there's no way he's just hit that in the top corner. It's like no, he's nothing's touched that. No, it came off a defender's boot. Goalkeeper touched it. It's never no.
I got to ask you and everyone in the chat section as well. When that Theo Walcott goal went in, did you celebrate?
Yeah,
you did. I was like offside.
Purely because I had missed the pass. I hadn't seen the pass go through.
Oh, okay.
I was in the middle of putting my plate on the floor from my my sandwich, my leftover sandwich, and I put it down, and it was just Walcott. And then
right. I was watching the whole thing. I was doing this with the Quality Street. Oh
yeah,
that's it. It's offside.
It's offside.
I've never been so relaxed. It's the weirdest thing. I was like, it's definitely getting ruled off. It's 100% offside.
I mean, I probably celebrated more for the Shane Long goal.
Yeah, but they were both great finishes, so I think we should take a bit of a positive from there. There's another comment here that's just popped on here. Southampton penalty should have been given. Definite handball. Yes, I do think it was a definite handball. It was an unnatural position, but my stance still is weirdly that it wasn't a clear and obvious error by the referee. But should that actually matter? No, you've seen them given. Them given.
I would say that wasn't so much of a he's missed a clear and obvious. It's more that he's just missed it.
Right. And no one actually spots a handball in the penalty area anymore, do they? No. Like no referee does. No one's given a penalty. Oh, it's definitely a handball.
It really is getting to a point where I think they should just take the refs off the pitch and just go fully digital referee system.
Right. Well, I have a red light system.
Yeah, I honestly think to just do it like that, because I'd rather just take that human error out of the game because they're terrible. It's in every game I watch now, it's just like these refs just don't know what they're doing. The refs don't they don't know what the VAR is doing. They don't know what to see, and then they're just making bad decisions. So
yeah, but Jack, go on. Yeah,
just make a choice. Either have referees or VAR, and I'd rather have VAR because it's more right.
It's more right, exactly right. But if they take human error out of football, we have to go off air.
Yeah, but this is fun.
It would just be a statistic.
Nothing.
Our channel would just be stats.
Yeah, but nothing relies on me and you. Me and you can stand here and be wrong, and it'd be absolutely fine. Those idiots on the pitch don't give free free kicks in a row, and suddenly it's still a 0-0 game rather than chances created. Like it's. I could go on a long time talking about how much I don't like referees.
You like the Danny Baker of this channel. Get rid of them. Get them off the pitch.
I really just think they're terrible. Like, the worst.
But to the second part of this comment, when a game something like 80 possession. Sorry, my camera's just gone off. There we go. We're back. When 80 possession, a draw should feel like a loss to Southampton. It feels like a missed opportunity. I would say it feels like a loss. It's annoying. I think Tom said it quite well earlier. Frustrating afternoon. Totally agree with that. But does it feel like a loss to you, Jack?
No, because what really helps is the fact that we're unbeaten in 6 now. Is it?
Mm.
And is that the first time the club's done that since the 80s? Since McMenemy? That's that we achieved what they were saying that we could achieve before the game. So why would I feel bad? Why would I be like, oh, that drops? No, we're so improved as a team that I can see past a 0-0 on Boxing Day to Fulham.
Yeah,
I'm that happy with what's going on and what we could do. I'm not too bothered about a 0-0 draw.
No, exactly that. And to be unbeaten, and I think actually we've beaten a record for away unbeatens as well, which is pretty decent.
Exactly. Like you can't knock those accomplishments even if they don't come exactly how we want them to.
Yeah, absolutely. Another comment here from Tom. Thought Diallo struggled. I'm going to ask a question to you, Jack, on this particular subject. Okay, you ready?
Go for it.
Brace yourself. Ibrahima Diallo or Harrison Reed?
Diallo.
Yeah, same. Let us know in the conversation. Let us know what you think. But a lot of people, mainly in forums, were talking, why have we let Harrison Reed go? It's really not that special.
That's I actually forgot going into this game all about Harrison Reed and Mario Lemina. And throughout this game, I forgot about them again.
Yeah.
And if it was me, especially Harrison Ford, who came up through the system, he has a point. He could have had a real point to prove today against us, and he didn't. And I would say probably of the two, let's be honest, Diallo probably had a better game. He probably put some better passes together. I would like to see the stats against it, but if not a better game, they had exactly the same game. So what are we missing?
Yeah, exactly. I'd just like to point out you did say Harrison Ford then, which is brilliant.
I've been watching a lot of Star Wars this weekend.
It's the festive season, so it must be on your mind a lot. But
I would tell everyone I've watched the second season of Mandalorian twice in 2 weeks.
I look forward to getting into that. But yeah, you make a great point. Pretty forgettable. I mean, I think Mario Lemina's looked pretty pedestrian when he's played for Fulham. I think Fulham are a much better side than they have been. They've improved immensely. I mean, they've had performances, I think, at the beginning of the season against Arsenal, and then there was that game they had against Everton, and conceding in like the first few seconds. It's just
Fulham's
woeful.
Fulham's current run and the way they've started playing, and now that Sam Allardyce is at West Brom, and Brighton getting things together, I get really worried if I was an Arsenal fan.
Yeah. that we need to keep an eye on the time because that game is coming up.
That game is currently waiting to start on my I've got the adverts here, but that's a real thing right now. Is that I honestly think Scott Parker and Fulham are a better side than Arteta's Arsenal. I think and obviously Brighton are because Brighton beat them. I honestly look at that bottom sides and I look at the teams and how they can improve, and I'd be very worried if I was an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, Burnley down there as well. They're picking up points against Wolves.
If somebody asked you who do you think would pick up a point in a relegation battle, Sean Dyche's Burnley or Arteta's Arsenal, you definitely say Sean Dyche.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see Arsenal getting relegated.
I do. I think it's the perfect storm of Arteta not being able to manage these players, those players not wanting to be managed or do anything properly.
Yeah.
Their fans not being there to get on them to improve, and because let's be honest, the only reason that Emery got fired and the only reason that Wenger got fired is because the fans urged it on so much. Is that this will keep carrying on until it's eventually too late, and when it's too late, who's going to want to go to Arsenal right now? Because as a manager that you're not going to get the performance, and you're not going to get anything, and they never spend money. And when they have finally spent some money on Pepe, he's been terrible. So I think it's this big whirling storm, and we're going to see that the Emirates play, Brentford at the Emirates, and it'd be great. It'd be really funny.
Or Brentford will be in the Prem next season. Never mind that.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, it's more a case of all the other fixtures that'd be rather amusing. But yeah, it's going to get very interesting down there, and I think a lot of the way the games are being played, it's a lot more of a congested table. I mean, you look at the difference between 1st and 10th, and there really isn't. There's a couple of wins in it, so it's looking very congested.
What I like is that with the way the games go in, is that it used to be that all you needed was to get a little bit of form together, and it'd be over a space of a few weeks. The problem is now you've got 4. What was it? It was 4 games in the space of 6 days the other week, and that form goes out the window when you can't have time to reload, and they just don't. As soon as they get hit again, and that is the way.
Off and do something silly and get a bit of luck and get a point.
They just keep getting punched in the face. They go in every round with their hands down and their chin out. It's hilarious to watch. Yeah. And they are just hoping that Aubameyang can swing and knock somebody out, but that's not happening. It's insane. And I would like to think I'm not as biased towards it because I don't really care about the London teams. But I will say that 2003 FA Cup final, I was in Florida and it very much ruined my holiday. So I'd very much, I think this is just a little bit of, oh yeah, this would be nice. They ruined my holiday, and then 20 years later.
I mean, the way I watch Arsenal games is brilliant. What I do is I tend to put, because I can't get away with watching that much football in this house anymore because it's got ridiculous. So I stick the game on an iPad, and then I literally have Arsenal Fan TV on a device, and I watch the two together, and it's brilliant. And I would recommend anyone out there, if you're watching an Arsenal game
and they're losing. I tend to wait for the first 2 incidents to happen with Arsenal. I tend to not watch the game, and as soon as I see there's a goal and a red card, then I'll tune in to Arsenal Fan TV.
So there we go. We've drifted off to the realms of talking about Arsenal and their
It's because it was such a boring game, Mike. I would rather talk about Arsenal going down than I would about us drawing 0-0.
Do you know what? I nearly turned this into just a simple Christmas Day show and tell and just go, what did you get for Christmas? Because it really wasn't much to talk about today's game.
No.
Which is
but I think the thing that I'm trying, the thing that I take from this game is I would like, when I'm sure like me, you look on the Saints banter pages, the game's going on just to see some opinions and things. And it's always so bloody gloom and doom when we're just not winning. And I think people tend to forget what team they support.
Yeah.
And if you look at when you look at the team overall, I see such improvements in it, even in today, and it is because we had a not very strong squad out, and they still put in a very professional, dominant display.
Yeah, 80% possession.
You can't argue with that.
Had the ball in the net twice, ruled off for offside, arguably a penalty decision that went against us. Amazing Ward-Prowse free kick that went in the top stanchion, should have been headed in to the goal by Shea Adams. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
And without what is quite clearly our 3 best players right now, which is Vestergaard, Romeu, and Ings.
Nailed it.
And that's the whole spine. That's the whole spine of a team taken away, and we still went out and played really, really well.
Yeah,
I can't hate on it. I can't hate on what's going on right now.
No, it's absolutely. So I'm not sure if we'll have a chance to do a match preview. We'll see if we can factor something in because our next game's in 2 days' time against. Is it 2 days? Is it Tuesday? What day is it? Is it Saturday?
I don't know.
What year is this?
Guys, there's so much. Here's the thing. We're now in that point between Christmas and New Year's Eve. So who knows? This is the never zone of the year. Of who cares what?
Yeah. We're at the stage where is it dark outside? Yes or no?
That's all we need to know.
That's it. That's all you need to know. But yeah, no, I think it's West Ham on Tuesday, and then followed by is it Liverpool? Who have we got on New Year's Day?
Hold on, let me take
somebody in the search on me right now.
What team do I support? Hold on. Where are we? So we are playing Tuesday against West Ham at 6 o'clock. on Amazon Prime, so I will be at home and able to watch that.
Nice.
Were you about for that game?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, see you here, guys. And because it's Amazon Prime, there's a good chance we'll be in sync with each other.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then, then 4th of Jan, it's Liverpool at home.
Wow.
That's a hard. You look at it; it's a hard run of games we've got coming up. Well, after West Ham even West Ham right now. West Ham, Liverpool, Leicester, Leeds, Arsenal. Like, whoo, that's a. I mean, it's an easy 3 points at the end there, but it's.
Yeah, it's gonna get clipped.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I saw this is the thing though. I saw the stat saying that they need to win 8 games to survive, and I could see them not doing that.
Wow, yeah, when you put it like that, because they haven't won in how many games? 7 or 8?
A long time.
We're talking about Arsenal again. What's wrong with
Sorry. It's just funny. Like,
so there we go. Well, we'll be having something for the West Ham game. I'll be up to you. Well, we'll have a Ronaldo back, so who knows? Could be a good contest. We're at home.
Who knows?
Is that good now? I don't know. Is that good?
Anything can happen, and also by then, for that game, I would honestly love to see a big change. Like to say, maybe like I said, play 5 at the back and Selassie to start, or and Lundalo to start. Just something a bit different. That'd
bit
be
of a
nice.
statement.
Bit of a statement, just to see if this works. Like Ralph says, there's no point in making a sub if you're not making the team better. So why not start with an Lundalo and then be able to bring on Shane Long, which would improve the team technically.
Yeah, it's a good shout. Well, it's a case of, are we just trying to rack up as many points as possible during this period to just, well, obviously you are as a team playing in the league, but, you can't really take your foot off the gas when you're trying to contest for Europe, really. Exactly. I guess that's what he's thinking about now. I mean, if we were maybe 5, 6 positions below, it would be less of a worry, but he must be thinking, well, if we want to make those European slots, then we've got to try and get as many points as possible out of every game. Obviously, there's an obvious statement, but you know what I mean. It's like
absolutely.
So there we go. Anything else to add on this rather woeful Boxing Day performance, Jack? Any nice gifts you want to share?
What gifts? I didn't get a lot of gifts this year. I didn't have so much. Both mum and dad living in that tier 4 life, so it wasn't great, but I really do like staying at home and doing absolutely nothing and eating a lot of food. So it worked out pretty swell for me. The best thing I got was a great set of headphones that are noise cancelling, so I can't hear anything outside of them. It's brilliant.
Oh, nice.
I attempted to wear them for this, but the microphone sounded like a bee farting in a tin. So.
Oh, okay. All right. That was the issue. I'm sure it sounded great in your ears. And,
it did.
Yeah, make sure you don't get run over in those noise cancelling headphones.
I will say that the best thing about those presents were my nan trying to talk to me. I was sat there setting them up. I was like, "These are noise cancelling, so I can't hear you." So I set it up, and I looked up after like 2 minutes and realised that she was walking around the room doing. I hadn't heard her for like 2 minutes, and she knew what I was doing. So
amazing.
She was just there flat out talking to me, and I didn't have a clue. So they are by far the best things I've ever owned.
Wow, crikey, seen a link. That sounds lovely. Wow, yeah.
How about you, sir? Anything nice? Anything sweet? Yeah, or was it all just SD cards?
Yeah, blank SD cards. As I said, I got a camera bag and a kilo of peanut M&Ms. And nice. I bought the kids a Scare Electric set.
Nice. I like that a lot. The big thing for me every year is the Boxing Day sandwich. That's the one thing I look forward to all year. Okay. And I bought special bread for it, and I came in to find my family getting tucked right into that special bread today. And you've never seen a man almost go so ballistic over bread.
Jack, I had no idea.
I was raging. Oh, Arsenal are on the attack. No, they're not.
Right, yeah. We need to let people go and watch the Arsenal-Chelsea game. But as always, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to hope for a much better result on Tuesday next week against West Ham. But as always, please remember to like and subscribe. Share the video if you like. It's up to you. Do you like? It's Christmas.
Be nice. Come on. Give a little.
But me and Jack will see you in some form in the week. All right. We'll see
will.
everyone. Cheers.
Bye, guys.